Stones River National Battlefield, an historic park and premier attraction in the city of Murfreesboro, Tennessee. This was a major site for the Civil War, which took place in the 1860s. This is Stones River National Battlefield. Good afternoon, my peeps. This is P9 coming at you with another video. And today I am in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Murfreesboro, Tennessee is the county seat of Rutherford County, and it's roughly 30 miles southeast of Nashville. So it is considered part of the greater Nashville area. This is Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and I start this video off at the Civic Plaza and Garden. So as you can see right over here, it's a circular park. They have a fountain right over here. And there goes Murfreesboro City Hall right over here. And today's a pretty sunny day. It started off real cloudy, but it is sunny, so the sun is out, and pretty cool summer day. So there's that. Here's a marker that says Murfreesboro's history. And again, it's right here in Rutherford County, Tennessee. And there's an 1863 drawing of Murfreesboro. Luminaries such as James K. Polk, Crockett, Andrew Jackson walked the streets while the legislature was in session. So it's just a little history of the government establishing Rutherford County and Murfreesboro. So not only is Murfreesboro located in Rutherford County, it is also the county seat. And there goes Captain William Lytle. And Murfreesboro is located on the West Fork of the Stones River, and the Tennessee General Assembly at the time proposed the name of Cannonsburg after State Senator Newton Cannon, who represented the area. After hearing about this decision, Little suggested the name Murfreesboro to honor his friend Colonel Hardy Murphy, who had just recently passed away at the time. So there goes Colonel Murphy right there. And in addition to serving as the county seat, Murfreesboro functioned as the state capital from 1818 to 1826. So while the legislature was in session, you had luminaries such as James K. and Sarah Polk David Crockett and Andrew Jackson, who walked the streets while the legislature was in session. However, the citizens of Nashville were determined to have the Capitol in their city and lobbied the elected officials to effect a change. Nashville won in a close vote, and when the Constitutional Convention was held in 1835, the decision was made permanent. Education has always been important in Murfreesboro. Besides the subscription schools, there were 5 institutions of higher learning in the town during the antebellum period. Teachers at Bradley Academy, Seoul Female College, the Female County Academy, Union University, and Eaton College instructed the young men and women of the surrounding region. So Murfreesboro is it was initially the capital of Tennessee between 1818 and 1826. So for 8 years, Murfreesboro served as the state capital of Tennessee until it moved to Nashville. The state capital moved to Nashville in 1826 and has been the state capital ever since then. So we're talking close to 200 years that Nashville has been the state capital. So today, Murfreesboro is the 6th largest city in Tennessee, and it's the center of population and geographic center of Tennessee. So if you look at it on the map, it's smack dab in the middle of the state. And since approximately the 1990s, Murfreesboro has been the fastest growing major city in Tennessee and one of the fastest growing cities in the country. And a lot of that growth is facilitated by Middle Tennessee State University, which is the major university located right here in Murfreesboro, which is also the largest undergrad university in Tennessee. But as you can see right here, this sculpture is called Word Forest. It's a beautiful sculpture. And it was installed April 14th, 2006 by artists Catherine Freeman and Bernie Hand, given to the citizens of Murfreesboro and Rutherford County, Tennessee, and by the National Healthcare Corporation. So there goes the marker. Dr. Carl E. Adams was the founder. So that literally has the words on it. And there's another one right here too. It has debate. And this one has the word ideas on it. Okay. You know, I always like a creative sculpture, so. And right here is the Regents Tower, or more specifically called the City Center building. So it just has a gang of like different insurance companies and financial companies that occupy the building. As I'm getting ready to head down Church Street, which is the main drag downtown. This is a Sunday afternoon, so a lot of these establishments are closed, but it's a barber shop. You're gonna see a lot of family-owned establishments in this area, as you see in a lot of main streets across America. And that here is pretty cool. It's like so Rutherford County One Public Square election building. So this is where they have the elections. They even have a cleaners right here called Big B.
Yeah, ours is going to say absolutely.
I just saw another monarch butterfly. It's not a monarch butterfly.
This one's called Joni's Murfreesboro right here. It's like a pretty popular restaurant because I saw quite a few people in there. But going back to Murfreesboro being one of the fastest growing cities in the nation, it was pretty evident when I was coming into Murfreesboro. I came into Murfreesboro on Highway 231 from Alabama, and as I was coming into the city, making my way towards the downtown area, there was quite a bit of traffic. So Murfreesboro is a city in its own right, but it also functions, I guess, somewhat as a suburb of Nashville. So, which Nashville in itself is a fast growing city. So there was a ton of development as I was driving into the city. It was a lot of development, whether it be commercial, residential, subdivisions, all those things. But it's a really nice city, pretty laid back environment. I'm over here at what looks like the county courthouse. As you can see, this monument over here has Murfreesboro, capital of Tennessee, as I mentioned earlier, from June 1st, 1818 to April 30th, 1826. So a nice granite limestone. And this marker is authorized by the 76th General Assembly in 1949. And at the time, the governor of Tennessee was Gordon Browning. And James Cummings was Secretary of State. Walter Haynes, Speaker of the Senate. And McAllen Fouch, Speaker of the House. So again, Murfreesboro was the former capital of Tennessee. And again, as you can see right here, this is the courthouse. And also the site of the Battle of Murfreesboro. So that's General Nathan Forrest and General Thomas Crittenden. So apparently Main Street in Murfreesboro was raided by the Confederate soldiers led by Nathan Bedford Forrest, and a huge skirmish took place, huge battle took place right here during the Civil War. I mean, Tennessee by itself is just inundated with Civil War history. Okay, Beer and Bullseyes, Murfreesboro's Axe. So you can come grab you a cold one while partaking in axe throwing. Okay. A musical supply store right over here. So you can get your, musical supplies, drums, guitar picks, guitars, all type of things you need over here. Looks like they have a food truck over here as well in this alley over here. Check this out right here. Look at this art piece. It's on the side of the Walnut House over here on Main Street. Rutherford Arts Alliance and the Tennessee River Keeper. 14 works of art on this mural are interchangeable. On this particular installation, all 14 paintings are up for. Sorry about that, camera cut off. But yes, this right here, it just has a list of all the paintings that are on this mural. It has the work of art, and right next to the work of art are the artists who put together the pieces. As you can see, 14 different paintings, and here all are the 14 artists who put them together. And it's a really nice collection of paintings on this wall right here. And you can see the centerpiece of it is it looks like a fish, and it has the reservoir right here. And this looks like some, I don't know if it's like some dragonflies or but it's like in this little steel sculpture. And you see the reservoir right there, and you see the fish. The reservoir sits at the mouth of the fish, and the fish represents the rivers that flow into the reservoir or into the mouth of the fish. So you have the West Fork, the Middle Fork, and the East Fork, all forks of the Stones River, which runs through Murfreesboro. So I think that's a really creative art piece right there. So I'm gonna make my way back to Main Street. Speaking of the Stones River, they actually have a park here in Murfreesboro called the Stones River National Battlefield. I looked it up online. It looks like it's a pretty nice park. Very scenic and a lot of cool artifacts. It's another one of those monuments that was sculpted to commemorate the Confederate soldiers that took part in the Battle of Murfreesboro that took place in the midst of the Civil War. And there you see that guy right there, the soldier with the rifle in his hand, and here you have the monument surrounded by an arrangement of flowers, red and white roses, as you can see. And over here on Church Street, it's just a few more you know, restaurants. They have an ice cream parlor over there. I'm gonna go ahead and walk this way. It's a establishment called Liquid Smoke. It's a beer, cigar, and hookah lounge. It's a tobacco shop right here called the Humidor. So basically, I'm in the area of downtown Murfreesboro called Public Square. They have a law office right over here, a realtor, so real estate auctioneers. I got the Berger Law Firm. So a few attorneys and law firms are over here on Public Square. And this building right here, this historical building, is the Rutherford County Judicial Building. So this is basically it right here. Office of the District Attorney General. Okay. Jack Brown's Beer and Burger Joint right here. They have a Korean barbecue restaurant as well. Okay, Rutherford County Fallen Firefighter Memorial, dedicated January 20th, 2011. And these are the individuals who put on a Murfreesboro Fire Department uniform and sacrificed their love, or sacrificed for the love of their community. In 1939, it was A.C. Cartwright and Winfred Vaughn of the Murfreesboro Fire Department. In 2002, it was Jason Kevin Jackson Hampton of the Almaville Fire Department. Shout out to those firefighters. And check this out, they even have a Bible encased in this structure right here, this sculpture. Wow. And it's actually open to Psalms chapter 98 through chapter 102. So this is very inspirational. Come over here and you know, get you some, they'll get you some scripture. And I'm gonna read Psalms 102, the Lord's eternal love, a prayer of the afflicted when he is overwhelmed and pours out his complaint before the Lord. Hear my prayer, O Lord, and let my cry come to you. Do not hide your face from me in the day of my trouble. Incline your ear to me in the day that I call, answer me speedily. For my days are consumed like smoke, and my bones are burned like a hearth. My heart is stricken and withered like grass, so I forget to eat my bread. And that is Psalms 102, verse 1 through 4. Yeah, so if you ever in the area and need to get some scripture, definitely come over here and check out that Bible. Or you can just read your own Bible. But this is a plaque for General Griffith Rutherford, 1721 to 1805, for whom this county is named for in 1803. And then it says, in the early years of the Revolutionary War, he commanded all military forces west of the Alleghenies. So he has his own marble memorial right over here. And this is basically a memorial for the police, the Fraternal Order of the Police, Hendon McClanahan Lodge 54. Federal troops on the square. So it's just makeshift shelters that were made during the times of war. So like I said, you know, this site was this city was the site of a major battle during the Civil War. So there's definitely a lot of artifacts and commemorations right here in Murfreesboro. And here goes a well right here. Which was definitely a major source of water in ancient times. As you can see, and there you have it. It's a nice Dodge, by the way, with a Hemi engine. Definitely my dream car, especially that color. But this is just a marker commemorating Rutherford County, the founding and the creation of it in 1803 from parts of Davidson and Williamson counties, both part of the greater Nashville metro area. And it was named in honor of Griffith Rutherford, as I just mentioned a few minutes ago. So again, Rutherford County was founded not too far, actually around the Stones River. So it is a river city for sure. And this one right here is in remembrance of African American men, women, and children who were auctioned as slaves at the market house and on the Rutherford County Courthouse steps on the square in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. So the African American Heritage Society of Rutherford County is committed to lighting the pathway of our ancestors and sharing our rich heritage and history for future generations. Yes, you definitely have to preserve the history for multiple generations to come. As I was stating, you definitely need to preserve history for future generations, because those who don't know their history is bound to repeat it. So I just wanted to close by saying that as far as the downtown segment of this video. And I wanted to get this shot of the front of the Rutherford County Historical Courthouse. Right here in the county seat of Murfreesboro. Of course, it's a marker that talks about the Forest Murfreesboro raid. So that's when, again, that's when Colonel Nathan Bedford Forrest of the Confederate Army led a raid right here in Murfreesboro. And, you know, of course, as usual in a lot of these battles, civilians and you know, prisoners were held captive. So you know that whole routine if you know about the Civil War history. And there goes another monument of the multiple wars throughout the course of American history, from the Korean War, the Iraqi War, World War I, World War II, the Vietnam War. And just wanted to get that. And with that in mind, I'm gonna move on to the next part of the video. Stay tuned for more. I'm here on the campus of Middle Tennessee State University, and I just wanted to get a little footage on the campus. Classes aren't in session, so the campus is going to be virtually a ghost town, but just wanted to get like some footage around the campus to see what it looks like. Mid Tennessee State University opened on September 11th of 1911, and it was named at the time Middle Tennessee State Normal School. That's how a lot of universities started off. They started off as normal schools to basically train teachers. It didn't gain university status until 1965, when it changed its name to its current name of Mid Tennessee State University. So prior to that, you know, they were issuing out bachelor's degrees, but they weren't on the university status. They were basically just, for the most part, training teachers. It looks nice over there. I'm gonna go check that out in a second. But it looks like we're in the part of the college campus that has the science buildings. So for all the science, it looks like the science majors and the liberal arts majors hang out in this area. Here's a marker, Harrison Black Circle. Harrison Black Circle honors and commemorates the families of Tom Harrison and Joe Black, whose contribution and sale of 100 acres of farmland provided the site of the 1911 opening of the normal school that evolved to become Mid-Tennessee State University. 3 of the 4 original buildings were located on a gentle swell of land just north of the marker. The president's home was built close to the southern edge of the Platte on another rise. Okay. So yeah, a lot of these colleges, especially in the South, and this is common with a lot of historically black universities as well. A lot of colleges were land grants, so they were granted land, and and they just built universities off of these acres of land that they were granted. But yeah, right here, this is a science hall. It's called Weiser Pattern Science Hall. So it looks very old. It looks like that building could have perhaps been here ever since the university opened in 1911. But I wanted to come over here to this part of the campus. It's just basically it's like a little park, or a little exhibit over here that has all of the planets, and it has the Earth and the Moon right here, and it has Venus, Mercury, which is the planet closest to the sun. Also has the sun, which is the star of the solar system center. So this has information on, all of these planetary, areas, the planets, Pluto, Neptune, Uranus, Saturn, Jupiter. Also has information on asteroids. So you can see there goes Neptune right here. Goes Uranus, Saturn, and it also looks like above them is basically how they're depicted on a actual sculpture that was made out of stainless steel. So this is Jupiter right here, the 5th and largest planet. And basically what I'm reading as I glance at a lot of these like these stones, is that many of these planets were named after like Greek gods and Roman goddesses. Like Venus is named after the Roman goddess, and Neptune was named after a Greek god. So I thought this was a pretty interesting part of the campus, so I had to come check it out. Goes a liberal arts building over there. This sculpture right here is called The Rite of Passage, a reflection, celebration, and anticipation. And this was created for Mid-Tennessee State's 75th anniversary by James S. Gibson, the professor of art, and dedicated November 25th, 1986. So again, this was in commemoration of the 75th anniversary of Mid-Tennessee State University's establishment in and this was dedicated in 1986. Shout out to James Gibson, the professor of art at that time. But I was reading over there earlier, right outside the Liberal Arts building, this particular building right here, which is Kirksey Hall, the side of it, it's blocked off for construction because I read on one of the signs that in 2026 they're going to I guess they're going to construct a building, or they're going to have a building ready that will replace Kirksey Old Main. So they're basically working on they're going to demolish this building and build a new building on its site. So just wanted to point that out. My battery died before I got a chance to really go into detail and elaborate on it. So I just wanted to point that out before I proceeded. Matter of fact, here goes the sign right here, coming 2026. Here comes like a rendering of the building right here. And here are the contractors that are working on building that new structure. So I'm over here at Floyd Stadium. This is home of the Mid-Tennessee State's football team. And Floyd Stadium is home to Blue Raider football. Mid-Tennessee State University belongs to the Conference USA and participates in the highest level of Division I collegiate sports in the NCAA. Students use a mobile app to gain free entry to games. Behind Floyd Stadium is Murphy Center, the Glass House, an all-purpose arena where men's and women's basketball teams play. The women's volleyball team competes in the Alumni Memorial Gym next door. Okay. So Mid-Tennessee State University's football team has competed in 4 bowl games in the last 5 years. And it has a capacity of 30,000 people. And as far as the Glass House arena, it has a capacity of 11,520. I'm glad they laid out those facts right over here by the stadiums. Oh, and they have a shuttle here too. I see they have a green route of the Mid-Tennessee bus shuttle stop. And these college campuses are big, are huge, so they would definitely need shuttles to accommodate the students as far as transporting them around the campus. Yeah, this is called this is Floyd Stadium, and it's named after Johnny Floyd, aka Red Floyd. Now, Red Floyd himself was a college football and basketball player, and he served as head coach for Mid-Tennessee State back in 1917, and also from 1935 to 1938, and he had a short stint coaching Auburn University. But that's John Red Floyd, who the stadium is named after. Here goes the baseball stadium over here. But Mid-Tennessee State has a slew of conference championships dating back to 1959. They won in 1959, 1968, 1976, 1981, 82, 87, 88, 90, 91, 92, 93, 95, 96, 97, 2001, 2004, and as recent as 2009. So Mid-Tennessee State's football team has won quite a few conference titles in their history. So that's 17 conference championships. So Mid-Tennessee State's football team, they don't have a shabby history. Here's a few markers for the Sun Belt Conference title. So I guess now the Mid-Tennessee State's baseball team competes in the Sun Belt Conference, but they won the conference title in 2009, and it was the head coach was Steve Peterson. And it looks like they're missing their banner because all the other championships have banners. See, they have the 2004, 2003, 2001, 2097. And it's all by the same coach, it looks like, Steve Peterson. And even back in 96, 95, and 97, when they were part of the Ohio Valley Conference title. So that obviously was a smaller conference. They were good enough, they eventually moved up to the Sun Belt Conference. And Steve Peterson has a lot of titles, a lot of championships as the head coach of their baseball program. They were even winning conference titles in the 80s, in 87, in 82, and 81. And at that time, the coach was John Stanford. And they even named this area Steve Peterson Champions Plaza. I know that Steve Peterson has to have like okay, there it goes. He has his own individual like marker, and he developed a history of success during a storied Hall of Fame coaching career at Mid-Tennessee from 1988 to 2012. Not only did Peterson teach his players how to win, but he also taught them how to be men with great work ethic, integrity, and accountability. So 791 wins, 20 conference titles, and 9 NCAA regional titles. Member of 6 Hall of Fames, including, this dude has so many accomplishments. It's too many of them. And there he goes right there. I was getting ready to say, because when I saw all those banners and those plaques of conference championships attached to the Mid-Tennessee State University, I was like, this guy Steve Peterson has to have like some form of statue or some type of marker on this facility, because that is insane. They got a sculpture of the Mid-Tennessee baseball cap right there. And there goes his predecessor, John Stanford. His records are many. His influence on young men immeasurable. Okay. And this is Reese Smith Jr. His reads, his devotion to family and MTSU is the foundation for this stadium. All right, cool. So as you just saw, this is the athletic complex, and you just saw Reese Smith Field and Floyd Stadium. So it looks like I'm over here on the part of the campus with the performing arts. They have a theater called the Tucker Theater. So they have a performing arts department here at the university. Pretty cool campus. Mid-Tennessee State. So it is basically, Mid-Tennessee State is situated in a kind of, like a mid-sized city. You can call Murfreesboro a mid-sized city, but it's located not too far. Actually, it's located in a relatively big metro area, being that it's in the Nashville metro area. So that's one of the cool things about attending, I guess, if you were into attending college, coming to this college does have its perks of being like located not too far from Nashville. They also have an Army ROTC department here, or ROTC program rather. At the Stones River National Battlefield Visitor Center and headquarters, part of the National Park Service. And I'm on the grounds of the Stones River National Battlefield. So let's take a look, shall we? And this battlefield basically commemorates one of the battles in the American Civil War that took place between December 31st, 1862 and January 2nd, 1863. And the Union came out on top in that particular battle in the Civil War. And it was a key battle of the Civil War right here on the Stones River in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. '1862 and 1863. And this is just a map of the grounds. And this is where we are right here. And it's also a map of where the battle took place. So there goes your boy right there, Abraham Lincoln. I can never forget, you gave us a hard-earned victory, which had there been a defeat, the nation could scarcely have lived over. And that was President at the time, Abraham Lincoln, to Major General William Rosecrans, August 1863. So at this park, you could, there's trails that you could walk on, So basically it's just a walking trail. There's also trails where you can bike on. So outside of it being a monument, it's also a place where you can come get some exercise. And right here are just some of the artillery of weapons that were used on this battle site. The Pioneer Brigade. And when you come on these sites too, it's almost like you're doing a borderline reenactment of the events that transpired during that time. I don't know why it feels that way. Because you see these cannons right here. And they have these cannons mounted on these, and they have these wheels. And they have this big old field right here, as you can see. And by the way, guys, this battlefield, or this park, is located on approximately 700 acres of land. Well, I just wanted to show you guys a snippet of the battlefield park, or a portion of it anyway. The portion that's right by the visitor center and headquarters. So it's just an overall nice place to relax and bring the family. And like I said, there's more to this park. I mean, it's on 700 acres of land, so it's extremely vast. But you can come here, walk, bike, and also, if you're a history buff, take in the history of the park. Commander-in-Chief Abraham Lincoln, General-in-Chief Henry Halleck. Plenty of markers of history here. Oh, also, you can't forget about Murfreesboro being part of the Trail of Tears National Historic Trail. So Murfreesboro was actually one of the many cities or towns that were along the passage from where the Cherokees had took their trek from their lands in Georgia and Alabama, the lands that they originally inhabited, and they were headed westward towards places like Oklahoma, and I think Kansas was another one, but majority of them went to Oklahoma. And this was in the fall of 1838, and it was over 11,000 Cherokees who organized in groups, and they passed through here in Murfreesboro as they continued on their trail of tears toward Indian Territory in the west. Yeah, so it was extremely dangerous on their journey, because they were passing through a multitude of terrain, including the treacherous Cumberland Plateau, and they also had to cross over the Ohio River and the Mississippi River. So I see why they call it the Trail of Tears, because that was a brutal trail and a brutal journey across this land, the states. So Murfreesboro is also historic for being, a passage point for the Cherokees on their westward migration, their forced westward migration, might I add. And there's much more. I'm gonna go over here. here. Over here is the Stones River National Cemetery. So I would imagine many of the soldiers who lost their lives in the midst of the battle, you know, are buried here in this particular cemetery. But those are the headstones. Those are the headstones of the soldiers of the battle. I was wondering what this was. But this was a this is a patriotic pulpit. So basically it's just a platform where speakers and dignitaries would deliver their speeches during multiple reunions and ceremonies, and as far as activities pertaining to the Civil War. Again, it's called the Patriotic Pulpit, that building right there. And it's located, this cemetery is located next to a railroad. I'm not going to proceed any further. I'm just going to turn back around. But yes, I just wanted to give you guys a sneak peek of what it looks like over at Stones River Battlefield. So if you are into this type of history as it pertains to Civil War, you just like national parks, and if you happen to be in the central portion of Tennessee, specifically Murfreesboro, this will be a good place to check out, especially if you're a history buff. But I'm gonna end my Murfreesboro vlog on that note. And if you made it this far, I'd like to thank you for watching. And if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. And if you like this video, hit the like button as well. And that being said, guys, again, thanks for watching. And stay tuned for more and more vlogs as I continue to provide more consistency on this channel. And until next time, you guys, peace. See you on the next one. Have a good evening.